Well, hello, everyone. Welcome to ETA, Entrepreneurs in the Arena. I am Leonardo Garcia, and alongside Mr. John Medina and Mr. Mark Tirolia. All right. We have a special one for you guys today. If you're an entrepreneur, if you're just a regular human being, we have a perfect guest for you today. We have Mr. Xavier Marrero here, and he's going to talk about credit mastery for entrepreneurs and regular civilians as well, and how to repair, build, and fund your dreams. I hope you guys are ready because I'm a student here. I can't wait to see the information that we're going to receive today because in order to make our dreams come true, sometimes we need funding. And you know what? Being depending where we grew up, not all of us have mark type credit. Look, I got a reaction. I like to say, that we all come from all different struggles, as well as Mark. He earned his way to the top. I just used him as an example, but Xavier is going to give us the blueprint as he goes in and out of the screen on how to get there. So I'm gonna have John introduce our guest, Mr. Xavier. I'm almost forced to call him X, but no disrespect. So I'm gonna give it over to John. And John, please introduce our guest to the audience.
You nailed it, Leo. Xavier goes by X as well, so you got it right on the head. So listen, I met Xavier when I first moved from up north. I moved my office from the Boston area to the Tampa area back in 2019. I had the privilege to meet Xavier at a networking event here in Tampa by the water near St. Pete. Right, we stayed connected ever since. I like his vibe. I like how he's a straight shooter. Very honest person. In my experience, and very open. No matter, regardless of the success he has achieved in his business and his life, you know that he kept it humble, kept it direct, and I really appreciate that. So he's out here in the Tampa area. He's very nearby me as well. And X, without further ado, sir, it's a privilege to have you here today. We appreciate your time for joining us here. And I know what you bring is going to be gold for everyone watching. So let's first start with a slow intro. I love your background, man, where you came from. I'm not sure how much you want to share, but let's go with that end first. Who is Xavier? How do you come about into the business world?
All right, John. First of all, man, I want to thank you for allowing me to be on this platform. Leo, same with you, and Mark, man. I feel honored to be able to come up here and speak, and not only introduce myself, but be able to teach our community how we can definitely help them and guide them in the right way, and give them information that was kind of been kept away from us, right? So I'm very, very honored to be on this platform. So thank you guys for this, right? But a little bit about myself, Xavier Marrero. I was born in Puerto Rico, raised in Pennsylvania, and now live in Florida. Obviously, Puerto Rico, we didn't have the best life. I didn't know any better. You grow up to a certain lifestyle, you think that's life, right? But then you come to the United States, then you start seeing things a little bit different, and then you start thinking a little bit bigger. And honestly, my background didn't come from the best neighborhoods. I got two older brothers that did do some time, a product of the environment, unfortunately. But I decided at one point, after losing my best friend at the age of 16, seeing both of my brothers get locked up, that I had to make a change. I had to be an individual that had to go a different direction, still want to live the good life, still want to retire my parents, still want to buy them a house. But how can I do this a different route other than what I've seen and what I've been taught? Turning, my son is actually turning 20 next month. So I started at a young age. So I had no choice but to figure out life, right? And figure out in the right way, because I wanted to be in my son's life for for the rest of my life. And obviously he'll carry on the baton. But guys, look, long story short, I did the corporate America. I learned my professionalism from corporate America. Applaud to anybody that has a job right now. But I'll tell you this, dream a little bit bigger. Job is just under broke. And we want to level up and we want to help our community. So when I realized that, I said, again, this is not going to get me where I'm going. But I give credit because I came from a hood, spoke a certain way, learned in corporate America how to be professional and how to really show people that I cared. And that's where I'm at today as a business owner. So very important for people to know that. I hate when people say, oh, forget about a job. You don't need a job. Nah, a job changed my life for the best. And it led me to where I'm at today. So shout out to that. So because of that, I became an entrepreneur. I became a father, a CEO, a mentor, and more importantly, a God-fearing man, right? And then I was introduced to what's called network marketing. Network marketing, tapped into that. Great industry, made my first 7 figures. And I don't say that to impress you, but to impress upon you that anything is possible as long as you put your mind to it. In that time frame where I was doing network marketing, I was able to retire my parents. I was able to buy them a home. And I actually I accomplished goals that I knew one day I'll accomplish. And I did it sooner than later, which I was very grateful for it. But money didn't come with instructions. So 7-figure income, right? 5 years, you would think that, oh, Xavier's made it. Xavier has it. Like, for the rest of life, he's good. Generations to come is good. Wrong. I blew the money. It didn't come with instructions. I didn't understand investments. I was doing credit, but I fully didn't understand credit. And I didn't know how to fully take advantage of it or leverage it to grow more businesses, right? So, of course, in life, you don't know what you have until you no longer have it. And that's exactly what happened to me financially, right? I no longer had that 7 income. So then I said, you know what? I'm going back to what I know. And I was doing credit repair. Let me go back to credit repair. Why? Because that 3-digit number is very important. It's your financial report card, right? It's financial literacy. So how smart are you when it comes to making decisions money-wise? Because to be honest with you, it's costing people $250,000 to $1 million in their lifetime.
That's a large number. That's a large number. A lot of people don't even realize it.
Right. And they don't realize it. They say, Xavier, how am I going to spend $250,000 to $1 million in my lifetime? That's crazy. That's impossible. I'm going to tell you how. 1, security deposits. That's not normal. We think it's normal because mom had to do it, dad had to do it, auntie had to do it, cousin had to do it. Everyone around us had to do it. So we say this is normal. It's not normal. I'm around a whole different class of people that security deposits don't exist. Then down payments. A down payment is not normal. See, a security deposit say we don't trust you enough, so we need some upfront money for us to go ahead and do the transaction we want to do. A down payment just say, hey, you don't qualify for enough. You got to put in that difference. And then the third one, the biggest one, interest rates. Man, if you don't understand interest rate, educate yourself on your interest rates. Don't worry about.
He's dropping gems.
That's what Einstein said, the 8th wonder of the world, interest. Yeah.
Interest, right? So guys, that was very big for me, and because of that, I got into where I'm at today. So John, I don't know if I already started kind of going into my spill, but you can see I have a passion for what I do. I know I was supposed to give you just my background, but I'm going to stop myself right there. And then you tell me what we're going to do next. Because, bro, as you can see, I love what I do. I have a passion. I'm about to go ham right now.
And we're about to let you loose, brother. I appreciate you. I mean, that's the reason I said we got to have X in this podcast because, one, I know the knowledge that you carry. I know the impact that you've made in the past and the impact that you're making right now. I'm like, our listeners have to have this recording so they can go back to it and change their lives, right? And you already know because you and I have spoken before privately. When I moved down here in 2019, my credit went to crap, right? I lost my income. I lost it all. That's how I relate to you because I lost it all 3 times, maybe 4, right? And every single time, I became a better person, a more God-dependent individual. Because when you get money so fast, and like you said, it does not come with instruction. We become dependent on the money, right? But when things go south, there's some things spiritually that we cannot handle with money. On the material side, money will take care of it, right? If you could write a check for it, you don't have a problem. But once the health deteriorates, once the spiritual part deteriorates, you cannot put money into that. If not, Steve Jobs will be with us right now, right? If he didn't make it alive, man, with money, forget it. All right.
Very true.
So I relate with you on that, right? And I know the importance of credit. I had perfect credit before, right? Then lost the income, dependent on credit, maxed out credit cards, by necessity, not by desire. I was literally buying food with my credit cards. All right. That's how bad it got there for a minute. And I'm extremely grateful for it. Right. Buying food with credit cards is not the way to go. All right. I blew about 30,000 of buying food and stuff that I needed with credit cards because of an experience. Right. So I know the listeners are going to benefit from this. And I love the fact that you said that you wanted to retire your parents and buy them the home, which my understanding is you did. Right. So that part right there is golden, man. So again, the background, same thing. Again, this is probably why I relate with you, man. I grew up, when I was born in Brooklyn, New York. My father had a bodega. He was in the world out there. He was a dealer, right? He was a street pharmaceutical man. And and he was very wealthy when I was growing up until I was about 11 or 12. He lost it all, right? And then I discovered something called then after my parents' divorce, right? I discovered a neighborhood called the Projects. All right. Man, that was the best experience. That was the best experience in my life because I go from a fenced neighborhood in the Dominican Republic, massive house, which is still there. My father had over 28 businesses running at the same time. Over 28, you heard that right? A lot of people, a lot of businesses. And he lost it all. He had a problem with his belt. He just kept falling off when he saw women. So, right? So, but he was a good businessman. He knew how to generate cash. So this is why I relate to you, my brother, right? We come with a similar background, and in those experiences that people may label as bad or challenging, the best experiences in the world.
The teachers. Those are teachers.
That's it. You're either gonna make it out and be victorious over it, or you're gonna stay down there and probably die. Right? And we're all here. We all been through stuff. That means that we're being victorious right now. So I appreciate you sharing that part there, X. And let's go into this part. I know you do a couple of things, right? You focus on credit repair for individuals and businesses, right? Business growth. Obviously, you're amazing at when it comes to putting people together and leadership. That's how we kind of connected. And now the business funding that you started doing over, a little while ago. So let's dissect one. Let's go with credit repair, right? Let's go with that, and then we're going to start talking about the building part and then the funding. That's the one for those that, and you tell us how people may qualify for this, right? Because you're going to have some people hitting you up. I know that for a fact. All right. But let's start with the credit repair, man.
Yeah, definitely, man. Let's dive right into it, guys. I stated this before. That's a 3-digit number that determines a lot when it comes to how much it's going to cost you in life, right? Especially here in the United States. You better have some good credit and your driver's license, you'll be all right? But guys, look, this 3-digit number, if you guys don't already know this, I already said it's costing you $250,000 to $1 million in your lifetime. I also want to throw this in there. Your car insurance is based off of your credit score more than it's based off of your driving record. That's crazy. When I went from a 517 credit score to a 751 in 3 months, my car insurance dropped by $150 a month. Just on that. And then me being in this industry so long, guys, if you're military, you cannot even rank up or get a new job if you have bad credit. So any government type of jobs, they actually determine if you're considered high risk or low risk based off of your credit score. If you got a low credit score, you're not going to move on up. Why? Because you're considered high risk. You might give away some information because you might need some money. This is stuff that they look at, right? And again, so that goes to your job opportunity. It goes to your home purchase. I tell people, hey, if you're renting, go buy. If you're renting, you can afford a mortgage. You're paying somebody's mortgage and their profits. So go buy, build equity. You know what I mean? And then also when it comes to your auto purchase, you want that interest rate to be low because on a vehicle, it's not like a house. It's not an asset where it's going to build and you're throwing more money into it. A car, you're going to keep throwing money into it, but the value is going to keep dropping. So now you have a liability. right? So understanding all that, you understand that credit is very important. So how is credit calculated? Because everybody thinks that they know, but this is something that was never taught to us. And any of you guys can correct me. When you went to school, was you ever taught how credit works or how even it was calculated? Never. What's the reason why, right? But now we're going to teach you. So I want you guys to start taking notes. Look.
He's keeping us in suspense there. Here we go.
Biggest.
You're back. You're back.
I'm not sure why it keeps coming in and off. The devil's alive, but God knows what's going to make this happen.
That's right.
So look, the first one is going to be your actual payment history. That's 35% of your credit score. One late payment will deduct 50 to 150 points off of your score automatically. A big no-no. 3 late payments are worse than a bank. And we understand, like John said, and I said, life happens. There's sometimes we want to be responsible, but financially we just don't have it. Understand, even if you have a late payment, there's ways legally you can get that removed so you can get back to that 100% credit or that 100% payment history. The second credit factor is going to be your credit utilization. So people, what the lenders want to see is that whatever dollar amount you got as a credit limit, you're using less than 30% of that. Why? Because if you're using more than 30%, you're considered living outside of your means. That means you're considered high risk, and that means most likely you're not going to make a payment. That's how they look at it. Not saying that those are the facts, but this is how the lenders see it. So I tell people, hey, learn your cycle dates, not your due dates. The due date is when they want you to pay the minimum because they want the interest at least, but the balance stays the same. The cycle date is the date that they report to the credit bureaus. So, for example, John, if I have a $1,000 credit card and all 4 of my tires blew, and let's just say I'm riding a normal car and it cost me $500 to replace all 4. I wish that was the case. It's like $500 per tire right now, right?
I was going to say.
Right? But let's just say that because I wanted to keep it simple math for people. Well, if you have a $1,000 limit and you just spent $500, that's 50% utilization. And you said, Xavier, but I had to. Now I'll mess up my credit. No. Make sure that you pay it down to $300 or less before your cycle date, at least 2 days before your cycle date. Boom. Guess what? The creditors never knew that you spent the $500. They think you only spent the $200, maybe $300. So you still look good. So don't panic because there's always a game plan around it, right? So then the second one is going to be 15%, which is the length of credit. How long have you had credit? So see, coming where we came from, a lot of times our mom and dad say, hey, man, you got that credit card paid off, cut it up and go ahead and close it out. How many times have we heard that? See, they didn't know any better, but what they didn't know is they was costing us a lot of damage. Because even if it has a high interest rate, I'm going to keep that account open because if not, 15% of my score can disappear overnight. So I'm just going to use that card bare minimum to keep it active so they don't shut it down. But I'm never going to close out that account because I need, not that I want, I need that age of credit. So very important to know, right? And just understand this. When you get a car and you pay for 7 years, it look good. When you make that last payment next month, expect to take a hit on your credit. And people say, how? I honor the terms and condition. Great, high five. But unfortunately, that length of credit is going to disappear. Those 5 to 7 years are going to disappear. Again, I'm just here to teach you how this works in the background, right? And then 10% if a type of credit. You want to have revolving and installment, right? Your revolving credit is your credit card, something that you constantly keep borrowing and paying back. It's revolving. Your installment is your auto loan, your personal loans, your mortgage. It's for a certain time frame, and then you end. And then at the end of the day, that account closes out. But you want to have a combination of both, and lenders always want to see about 4 to 5. I tell people go with the 5, right? If you can do 3 credit cards, a mortgage, and a car payment, excellent. If not, 2 credit cards, hey, put your rent as a mortgage. I'll talk about that a little later on. And There's other. It's not hard at all, right? And then the last 10% is going to be your hard inquiry. How often are you checking your credit? Lenders don't want to see that you're checking your credit more than twice a year, because if not, you almost look like you're desperate for credit, and you can have a good profile, but the hard inquiries could stop you from getting approved, right? So that's how your credit is calculated, right? That's how you establish. But what impacts your credit in a negative way, and what impacts your credit in a positive way, right? So obviously we all know if you have collections, charge off, foreclosures, late payments, bankruptcies, repos, child support. Yes, I said child support. Fellas, don't get excited and think that you don't have to pay child support no more. If you're in child support, you know they're going to come for their money. But sometimes they not child support itself, but the actual history. And any negative items by law under the Fair Credit Reporting Act of 1971 and Consumers Law and HIPAA law, all those can get removed. Medical bills, very easily. They're a violation of the HIPAA law. Guys, look this up. The HIPAA law indicates that no institute has.
Oh, Lord. Man, some good stuff.
Everybody better be taking notes right now.
How did the credit bureaus get my personal information? Because the credit bureaus are not government entities. They're private businesses. How did they get my information from the hospital or any medical institute that I went to? You're in violation of the HIPAA law, and you got 30 days to fix that, or we'll find a lawsuit. It's knowledge, right? So you have to.
Oh, Lord. Man. Thank God we got a recording.
Yeah, Natasha says this is very valuable information.
Look, oh, it's going to get even crazier. Hey, I'm telling y'all, take notes. But look, man, see, like I just lost my train of thought because I just be in it, right? But regardless, right, guys, any negative item that's reported to your credit bureaus, they always say, oh, it has to be there for 7 years. Some bankruptcy, 10 years. That's a lie. After that time frame, you can request for it to come off, right? But before that, you can leverage your rights to say, I need everything completely off. A collection means that whoever, so I'll give you an example. John owns ABC store. I go ahead and I buy a phone from John, and John go ahead and gave it to me on credit for $1,000. I owe John $1,000. 120 days, 90 days went by, 120 days went by. John said, Xavier went MIA. He owes me $1,000, but you know what? Xavier's $1,000 debt for $500. So John
wait, unpack that. Repeat that, because you just disappeared like Casper, and I know what you said, but I want our viewers to catch us. So John said you went MIA, and now he's gonna sell your debt.
So John said Xavier's not paying me. He went MIA. So I'm gonna contact Leo and sell this $1,000 debt to Leo for $500. Leo said, I take it. Leo reports me to the credit bureau and says, hey, I own ABC Collections and Xavier owes me $1,000. I come and say, hey, I don't even know who Leo is, first of all. Second of all, Leo, what contract do you and me have that shows that I have signed that I owe you $1,000? And Leo, let's be honest. My brother, you chose to buy my debt. Thank you. By law, my debt is paid off. John, I don't owe you nothing. And John, if I try to pay you, you by law can't collect my dollar amount because you're going to double dip, and that's against the law, and you're not going to put your company in jeopardy just for $1,000.
That's gold right there, man.
That's a collection because, again, by law, if me and you don't have a contract, how can you report me to the credit bureau? That's misleading information. That's inaccurate information you're reporting about me on my credit report.
And let's say that Leo buys the debt, right? And now he says, hey, I'm going to take you to court. How does that work?
I see you at court, Leo. Make sure you show up with a contract with my signature on it, or now you're wasting my time, your time, and the judge's time. They ain't gonna be too happy with you.
The contract had to have Leo's name on it, or it has to have John.
it has to have the company that's reporting me. So if Leo is the company that's reporting me, Leo has to know I am the entity that has been reporting him. So Leo, let's go to court and see if the judge is going to honor that, because at the end of the day, I don't even know who you are. And I never signed a contract I was going to pay you $1,000 for what? Because you decided about my debt? John broke our contract by selling you my debt. And what contract do I have with you, Leo?
That's powerful right there.
Same thing as a charge-off. Collections and charge-off, almost the exact same thing. How
This is some serious nuggets. You guys better be taking notes right now.
The Fair Credit Reporting Act of 1971 was created because of that, because companies were double dipping, because collection companies were over sitting here and like harassing clients for their money, and they had to because their credits were being ruined. No, not no more. So we got you on that, right? So just knowing your rights and how to leverage your rights and the proper terminology, the legal terminology that you need to use, so that way you can go ahead and take full advantage and get all these negative items back. I don't care if you owe the money or not. If it's in collections, your debt been's paid off. Why are you trying to work something out? Why do you think Leo will call me and say, hey, Xavier, you owe me $1,000? I said, Leo, no, I don't. You know what, Xavier? I like you so much. If you pay me $800, we can settle. And I'm like, Leo, I still don't know who you are. You know what, Xavier? Since I know you, I'll go ahead and take $600 right now, 40% off. Why do you think they do that? Because they bought it pennies on the dollars. Leo doesn't like me. Leo doesn't know me. He's just trying to collect money off of me because that's his business. Now, we can stop that from happening. So again, knowing your right, leveraging your right, how to go about that. And then how to boost up your credit. Okay, we can get rid of negative items, but someone like my son who just started his credit, or someone that we're removing negative items, but they have to build positive items, because negative items always trump positive items. So what happens is now we have to teach people how to, first of all, if you're a renter, how do you get credit for every single month that you're making that payment on time? Because the average American is going to pay that rent. They need to keep a roof over their head. The phone will get disconnected before the roof is gone. The car gets repoed before the roof is gone. The stomach start hurting before the roof is gone. So why is it that we're not getting credit for that on our credit report? We can teach you how to do that. There's companies out there like Rental Karma or Rent Reporters. They can backtrack up to 2 years. So now you're hitting the 30%. You're hitting the 35%, which is your payment history, 100% it's going to show. You're hitting the length of credit, which is 15% of your credit score, because it's going to show 2+ years. That was 50% of your credit score. Do you see how that works?
That's powerful.
So then we also teach them, hey, go get a secure credit card. Don't try to get approved. No one's going to approve you. Go get a secure credit card. Give them a couple $100 and tell them, hey, I want to build trust. I want you to trust me. So I'm going to give you $200 to $500 credit. I say go to your credit union. Banks are okay. Credit unions are better. And go ahead. But again, apply the rules. Make the payments on time and use less than 30%. Watch how your score will skyrocket. Guys, everything I'm saying, I can show you documentation. I always say documentation beats conversation. Ooh. I come from sales. I can sell water to a whale. So I know people got the same skills or not, even better. So don't tell me, show me. Right? So I go on, well, it's on this phone right now, but I can show you how my son just last month, I got him some of these programs, and he's already at an almost 700 credit score. He's at 697. At 697, 19 years old. And he's about to be at 750 in the next 2 weeks. Why? Because we came in and we started adding the secure credit card to Navy Fed. He went in and went to Credit Strong and said, hey, I'm going to pay you $20 a month so you can report to the credit bureau that I have a credit card from you for $5,000, which I don't, and I'm using less than 5%. And I'm going to do this for 2 years. And at the end of the 2 years, I need you to give me 85% of that $25 I was giving you every single month. But thank you for reporting $5,000 to the actual credit report. Game changer, game changer. So now you know you have a company like Self that can add positive as long as you're paying them every single month. Rental Karma, rental reporters. You got your secure credit cards. You have Credit Strong. You have Ava, Meet Ava. These are all programs that will cost you like $20 a month. And if you got 5 of them, that's $100 a month. But that right there will show almost $10,000 that you have access to, but you're not really using. A lender sees that. They're like, John, how much do you want? How fast do you need it? The interest rates are going to be 0% for the first 12 months. That's how you build a relationship. That's how you build your credit. That's how you leverage it, right? So then people say, well, Xavier, I heard about trade lines. Cool, trade lines are good. Trade lines are just authorized users. You have 2 options. I give my clients options because at the end of the day, it's what's going to be best for my client. Your first option, go to a family member that you know has a high credit card. So if I know let's just say Leo's my brother. And I'm like, Leo, I know financially you got your stuff right. I know you got the American Express, you got the Chase, you got the Discover. And all of them, you got like $10,000 or more. And you've been paying on this for like the last 5 years. Can you add me as an authorized user so I can piggyback off of your credit? I don't have access to your account and I'm not going to get a credit card. Leo can add me as an authorized user. And on the next cycle date, that hits my account like if it was my history. But it does show as an AU, authorized user. So lenders can see that. But it still helps your credit become a more solid one. And then I have people that say, hey, Xavier, I have a very high utilization, but I don't have 10,000 to go ahead and pay it down under 30%. That's okay. We can sell you a trade line or get somebody to add a trade line for 15,000 or 20,000. The utilization automatically goes down, regardless if it's a primary or AU. Boom. So now instead of a client paying $10,000 to reach a certain goal, we charge them maybe $1,500 and we reach the same goal. So trade lines are very powerful because, again, what they do is they add age to the credit, they lower your credit utilization, and they increase your actual credit limit, also increasing your credit score. A lot of people don't know about that. So people say, okay, Xavier, you showed us how the credit works, how much it's costing us, and how it's calculated. You showed us what's considered negative and what rights we helping us grow our actual credit. But what does that mean for us? Well, I already told you it's going to save you $250,000 to $1 million in a lifetime. It's going to open so many doors like to home ownership, a new auto, better interest rates, credit cards with lower interest rates, right? Better insurance rates, and also.
This is good stuff, man. This is good stuff.
This is fire. What's the last one, X?
And higher credit limits.
There you go.
So if you have a credit card, I don't care if it's $300, I don't care if it's $3,000, I don't care if it's $30,000. If you know you got good payment history for the last 6 months, I need you to call them right away and say, I want a higher credit limit. How much do you want? Everything you can give me, because I love your company and I want to keep doing business with you guys. I'm not telling you to go spend more money. Keep getting more credit limit because your utilization, if you keep spending the same dollar amount, just keeps going down because your limit keeps going high. And then when you might need something, they said, man, this man has access to 50, 100,000, but never spend more than 10,000. John, you say you want another 100,000? Here's 150. It works that way.
And
right?
and let's talk about credit for a minute. I'm gonna make a little bridge right there. I want you to pick it up where you left. But for business owners, man, listen. I know we were taught, hey, let's bootstrap it, let's work our way up. But let's just be real, man. Listen, the biggest budget that you need in any business, the Small Business Association says you should have at least 40%. When you're starting, you should have up to 60% of your revenue go to marketing. Because marketing is what's going to keep the cash flow coming back in. But the reality is this. When you start a business, man, you cannot put 60% because you're living off of it, right? And even 40%. putting it back to the marketing, that is very tough. And I tell you this by experience. I've started several businesses, right? If you're living off of it and you're bootstrapping it, it's like, dude, this is nowadays entrepreneurship is like another breed of the rat race. You're living on that commission breath. You're living on that, hey, let me produce and let me consume. Let me produce and consume. It's like, dude, might as well get a job. It's less stressful. All right? Go get you a daddy that you got to ask every time you got to go out and take a day off.
Daddy.
You know, that's what having a boss is, man. You have a daddy. Daddy, can I take a day off, please? Daddy, I'm sick. Can I take the day off today? You know, I don't like daddies. My dad died. I don't need another one. All right. So, but having that credit, having that funding. By the way, for the first time this year, I took, and I wish I knew you were around. I took some funding. All right. I took it from the worst place I could probably take. I took it from Stripe. They offered it. I never went. I know you made that face. You're the second guy that makes that face because you know how that works. But Stripe saw my transactions. They saw the volume. They saw the growth. And they made me an offer with a flat rate. But they take 20% of every transaction that I do until I pay it off. By the way, I'm over 65% off paying them. In the last 3 months, I'm like, dude, I'm probably not going to do this again. I'm going to go and get me funding somewhere else.
Real funding.
Real funding. But it helped. It helped. Why funding? Because you could take it out. If you have the proper marketing strategy, and you could take, let's say that you get funded for $50,000, but you know your product, you can transact twice of that a month, and you put it into the right vehicle that you're confident that it's going to produce, man, forget it. You pay those guys off in less than 6 months, get them off your back, but that cash flow keeps coming in. All right. So that's the power of funding. This is why it's very difficult for most businesses to keep up with the 1% and the 5%, because those guys know how to get funding. And once you got money, I forgot who said, I think it was Dale Carnegie. He said, he who could spend the most to acquire a customer wins. What's it, Dale Carnegie? He was a big guy. Or the Rockefeller, one of those guys. But they said whoever could spend the most to acquire a customer wins. Market share. This is all about market share. If you could have at least 5% of the market share in whatever industry you're in, listen, you're out there with the Bezos. That's just how it rolls. So I'm going to let you keep up where you were going, but we're going to move into that funding part, because if you don't if you have the credit and the funding, forget it, man. That's it.
Before you get there, let me ask you a myth, or it might be fact. I hear that you have to have good credit to build business credit.
Good credit will skip the line to get you business credit.
What do you mean by that?
So let me explain that. All right. So
there you go. Yes, this is almost as bad as the parrot.
Creating your LLC or your company S corp. Like I have an S corp. Thank God we've been able to level up. We're at the S corp now. And then what you do is obviously you go and what's called tier ones. Tier ones, you'll go to certain companies, and then basically you're buying like little office products. And then after 30 days, you say, hey, I spent X amount of money with you guys. Can you give me a credit card? And depending on how much you spend in those 30 days, they might give you $100 up to $500 credit card. Great. That's your tier one credit card. You got to use that for 6 months, and then good payment history because you're building that business credit. And then you go to a gas station and get yourself a gas card. That's considered your tier two car, right? Now, another 6 months go by because you have to have that history. So we're in almost a little bit over a year now. And now you go to your tier three. Those are going to be your $5,000, maybe up to $10,000 credit card, your business Inc., you know what I mean, through Chase and stuff like that. And then eventually, after a year and a half to almost 2 years, you have what's called good credit history or good credit with your business, and you can just continue leveraging your business credit, never attach it to your personal. That's the traditional way. That's the ways that people need to go if they never want to attach their personal or they just don't have good personal credit. Very time consuming, and you have to be like disciplined. Now, the new way is skip the line. Let me get your personal credit. I don't care how bad it is. Let's go ahead and fix it up. Let's put whatever we need to put in there and get you the correct actual profile, which I'll tell you what that is here soon. And now let's leverage that. And I don't care if you just open up your business last week. I could take you to Chase and get you 100. I could get you 50,000 to 150,000 like this through Chase alone. Now we got PNC, we got Trust, we have Wells Fargo, we have so many other financial institutes that say, hey, based off of your credit score, we're willing to give you credit cards because there's 3 different products. Your business loans, high interest rates, and they need to verify your information. Line of credit, high interest rates, and they need to verify your information. And then your credit card, 0 interest rate for 12 to 18 months, no documentation is required. So now we can get you approved based off of your personal credit, but it's being reported to your business credit. So the 50,000 to 100,000 is not going to show as a debt to a debt on your personal because it has nothing to do with it. You're just a personal guarantor. You're the co-signer. It's being reported to the business. And you say, well, Xavier, I want 50,000 cash. I needed a personal loan. No. Or a business loan. No. Remember, I said 0% interest rate. Let's liquidate the credit card. I'll send you an invoice for 25,000 twice. Pay with that credit card. The 50 hits my account. You have a contract. I'll wire that straight to you. You got 12 months interest free to pay that 50 grand. If you are a hustler, if you're a business owner, if you're an entrepreneur, if you're in business for yourself, you should already have that figured out. It's that easy. So 2 ways to build it. The traditional way, it could take up to 2 years, or the new way, let's skip the line and let's leverage your personal credit.
I love that, man. And hold on. Because by the way, I got no business credit right now besides whatever I'm doing right now. I took forever. I've been doing business since 2017, only focused on my personal credit. But then I realized the power of having that leap funding. I want to call it leap funding because when you take that funding, your business is going to take leaps, quantum leaps in the business. Instead of growing the traditional way, which is just, hey, grow gradually. Man, business is not meant to grow gradually. This is not a freaking job, you know?
Success loves speed.
That's it.
Oh, is that a coach phrase? Oh, man, somebody get this guy a contract. Coach, let's get this guy a contract.
That's right. That's right. So imagine this. I mean, people think that, hey, I'm going to go from 5,000 to 6,000 to 7. Dude, that's a job. You do that in like 60 years at a job, right? You want to do it where, hey, if I'm at 4,000, how can I go to 40 in the next 60 days?
Man.
All right.
John, listen to this. Because you mentioned it earlier. You made a mistake, but it wasn't a mistake going through Stripe. It's okay. We live and learn. But you said, you know what I tell people is this, and I ask you this question, John. Did you
It's a good question.
Great question.
Here we go.
Did you make money off of the money that they funded you?
The money that they funded me, I made that money recurring in a month.
So who cares? That's what I tell people. But they have these fees, and I got to pay taxes.
That's what leverage is all about. Leverage.
Did you make money? Then who cares?
That's it.
Pay them their fees. Pay.
That's how you leverage money.
That's it, man.
That's how money make babies.
That's it.
Hey, so who cares? But you know what it was, John? At the end of the day, it was OPM, other people's money. You were using other people's money. So going back to what you were saying before I answer that question was, okay, guys, leverage your personal credit, create an LLC, even if you don't own a business. And now let's go ahead and get you funded.
This is fire, guys. Yeah, I hope y'all taking notes right now.
You know we're gonna need a part 2.
Zero interest rates for 12 to 18 months. No documentations required. Let's get this money, right? Because at the end of the day, it's other people's money. Now, check this out. You are the personal guarantor, so you want to make sure you keep that good relationship. But John, check this out. 6 months later, you could take me out the picture and go get your own funding because the business has established enough credit now Now, any other transaction that you do, it only goes against the business. Meaning, God forbid something happens, John, your 50 grand is still in your bank account. That 50 grand that you just borrowed, your business just borrowed, that has nothing to do with you. If it went south, that's okay. Bankrupt the company. Donald Trump does it all the time.
That's right.
Why do you think they never go broke, but they're broke? Look at 50 Cent. How you file bankruptcy, Playboy? How?
Yeah.
They can only go against the entity that they agreed to. See, in the beginning, they can go after you because you agreed to that. You as a personal guarantor. 6 months later, that entity, which is your business, it's on its own. I stand and look at my record as a business. You could trust me, but hey, business sometimes goes south. But then guess what? That happens. That, hey, John, let's create another LLC because your personal credit's still good. Let's run the play again.
This is powerful, man. Business sheltering. Most people don't know.
So
other
X,
people's money.
let me ask you this: why enough people are not doing this? Why they're not implementing this strategy that you're kind of showing us right now?
Lack of knowledge. They don't even know this exists. It's like that cloud above their head. They don't even know it's there. Lack of knowledge.
Yeah.
The second is the average American. We live in a culture where it's a microwave culture. They don't want to go through a process of fixing their credit and being proactive to make sure that they went and got these accounts added. And then at the end of the day, they don't take the steps to create the LLC. That's the only thing that's preventing people from doing this. My son, mark my word, my son in the next 6 months, he will have over $100,000 access to his account. But because again, he's learning the patience. He's learning that he has to be proactive. He's learning that he has to be disciplined. And at the end of the day, he also understands that how we create the LLC, the correct way how we create the LLC. Because some LLCs are considered high risk and they're not going to give you any money. But if you put that you do consulting, you do marketing, you do e-commerce, they're giving you money all day. But if you put that you're an investor,
Yeah.
It's all about the proper wording when you apply for the entities.
Wording and the code. Every business have a code. What is that code? I tell my clients exactly what code to use.
That's right. Yeah, because if they see you in real estate, they see you trying to go into certain codes, like you said. Nope. Hey, you're trying to buy stock from their company, they're not going to give you money. It's like they know that stock sucks, so they're not going to give you their money to put it into their stock. Right. So, man, that's powerful. And going back to, let's say someone that has a personal credit and they want to start to leverage and become the personal guarantor for a business credit line or credit card, right? Or secured credit. Not sure exactly how you mentioned it. What is that credit score that they should have at a minimum before they can do that?
Okay, so 680 or above, I tell my clients, let's get you to 700. But 680 or above. No negative items at all. No late payments, no collections, no charge-off, repos, none of that. Also, less than 4 hard inquiries. We want to see 3 or less. And then also less than 30% utilization. Normally, we want it to 25% or less. Also, you want to have at least 2 years of credit age. And you want to have at least 4 to 5 primary accounts. That equals $3,500 or more in credit limit. If you have that profile, hit me up right away. If you don't have an LC, I help you create the LC. We'll get you funded by next week. If you have the LC, by the end of this week, we'll get you approval, and then you'll have your car in less than 2 weeks.
That's fire, man. That's fire. And just to reiterate on the part of the power of funding, man. Like, I did it for the first time this year. Man, I wish I did this in 2017 when I started. I'm like, man, just the leap that you take in your revenue, right? Because I'm in the business of sticky money, right? I like sticky money. All right. Do I dabble into non-sticky money? Yeah, but I like sticky money. I'll bet it all against sticky money, right? The sticky money, for those that don't know what sticky money is, you sell something that pays you month after month or quarterly or every 6 months or every year over and over, but you only sold it one time. That's freedom money. That's what Warren Buffett said. Until you learn how to make money while you sleep, you're gonna work until the day you die. All right. Sticky money, the best way of doing it. All right. And sticky money is also how this gentleman do it. You have teams, distribution. That's sticky money too, as long as the distribution is distributed. Right. So I wish I did the funding thing, man, before. I did it this time. I did it through Stripe. Next time, I'm definitely not going to do it through Stripe. All right. I love Stripe. By the way, Stripe, if you're watching me, I love you guys because they that's how I transact, and they're very good to me, right? But that's that part, man. And I know you mentioned that you can help those watching this video, this podcast. You can help them get to good credit, to perfect credit. Is that right?
That is correct.
And then once you help them get their personal stuff situated, then you could help them go into building business credit and then business funding. Is that what I'm hearing?
That is very true.
There you go. There you go.
And John, I'll throw this in there real quick. Right now, we have a play that we can get a TransUnion completely sweet, removing every single negative item, only leaving the positive items. We can get it done in 7 business days. Money back guarantee. TransUnion only. But my brother,
and TransUnion, for those that don't know, that's like the main, like that's like the fourth, right, or the third, or something like that.
I gotta get Jamaican right now. I gotta get Jamaican. Say it louder for the people in the back. Bring it back, come rewind.
what was the part that I just said?
7 days, TransUnion, removed.
Yes. Yes. Bring it back, come rewind. Booyaka.
I got you. All right, so look, if you happen to have TransUnion and negative accounts, in 7 business days, we can get every single thing removed, only leaving the positive items. That means that you can easily go to over the 700 credit score in 7 business days. If not, your money's guaranteed back.
Boom. That is a serious guarantee right there, man. What do they say? Take my car, right? Is that what they say? And I'll tell you this, right? I'll tell you this. Having a high score, you can literally get anything you want. You have the high score in the proper cash flow. There's no lender that will say no. They have to be stupid to do it, right? So credit is power. If you don't have the cash, credit is power, right? But now if you have the credit and the funding, man, you're an unstoppable beast if you know where you're going to put your money at. Woo! All right.
See, look, cash is king, but credit is power.
That's right.
I can take a testament to everything you're saying, X. I remember probably about 4 or 5 years ago, I went to the car lot. I had excellent credit, right? I bought me a Challenger, brand new, with no money down, right? And then my wife asked me, so how much you put down? I said, nothing. I said, my credit is great. The following week, I bought a Maserati with no credit down, and she couldn't believe it. And my wife, she has excellent credit. And probably 2 years after that, we went to the Mercedes-Benz dealership, and they was telling her, you got to put $3,000 down. I said, no, we're not. We're putting down nothing. She has great credit. We went out the car lot with nothing down. So credit is so important, guys. I mean, listen to what Mr. X is saying. I'm a testament to that.
Mark, it's crazy you saying that, right? I tell people when you have a
No. When you have 7, start there because you went away. Come back.
All right. So when you have a 700 credit score or higher, you talk different, you walk different, you dress different, you look different. So when you go into a dealership, this ain't no more, hey, I kind of want this car. What can you do for me? It's no more, I want this car, and this is what you're going to do for me, whether you like it or not. Because if not, I go to the next person. My credit score, they're going to open the doors for me. They're going to roll out the red carpet for me. They're going to put the bowl in the car for me.
They're going to put the bowl.
like how you said, I'll give you a quick story. When I started the business, I went to a 791 credit score, right? The highest credit score I had at the time. And I was making good money. I went to a Mercedes dealership. I said, I want that E. It was the E63. It was $97,000 at the time. They was like, Xavier, you have a 798 credit score. You're making multiple six figures. This is your car. Tomorrow, come pick it up. We about to detail it for you. I'm happy. Thank God I didn't go to social media and put it up, right? So I'm happy. I'm like, man, tomorrow I'm coming to this brand new, for the first time ever, I'm buying a brand new car, special Mercedes, right? Straight off the show. It was in the showroom, right? So I said, that's my baby right there. I come back the next day. I'm expecting to see my name on it. I don't see my name on it. Then Noah, who's the financial manager, he's like, Xavier, let me speak to you. I said, Noah, I don't like the way you're approaching me. What's up? He said, check this out. I got you approved, but it wasn't an E63. It was an E300. I said, bro, how are you going to take from a V8 twin turbo AMG package to give me a 4-cylinder? Like, you're giving me what I consider a Barbie car. He said, Xavier, you have the credit score, you have the income, but you don't have one payment on your credit report that shows that you pay over $1,000 a month. How do we trust you with an $1,800 car payment? I said, man, you got me. So I had to get the E300. My homeboys are talking smack to me, like, oh, I can put your car in my trunk. They're driving S-classes. They're driving AMGs. And I said, but I don't worry. I got y'all, right? 8 months later, I came back. I went to go to the S-class, but the CLS 53 just dropped, and they haven't dropped for 2 years. I said, you know what? I want that one. I was able to get it custom made, exactly how I want it. Came up to 125, right? I said, I want it at 125. No, they told me 125 and you're going to put 15 grand down. I said, no, I still got a brand new E-Class. I'm not putting nothing down. They said, oh, but Xavier, look at how beautiful the car. I know, I created the car. But you're not going to tell me now, after all this, that I'm putting 15 grand down. You know what, Xavier? 10,000. I said, my brother, if you tell me one more number other than 0, give me my keys to my E-Class and I'm driving out of here happily. And of course, they call that person that you never see, comes out of nowhere, goes behind a computer, never says nothing to you, type up some information, walks away, and they're like, Xavier, congratulations. Here's your brand new CLS, 53, 0 down, and we got it down to $115,000. Thank you. But if I didn't have the credit score, I couldn't walk in there with that confidence and tell them what they were going to do. They always tell us what we need to do. And a lot of people walking out there were for focus.
That is powerful. Leverage, man. Leverage. I see Mark saying something.
Yes. No, I mean, it's so important. You know, I always tell people that when it comes to building financial wealth, life insurance and working with the right credit repair is hand in hand. Always, when it comes to building more wealth, it's so important to have using leverage, OPM, other people's money, right? So, I mean, bro, I'm glad you got a chance to speak your truth, because a lot of people, I'm gonna be honest with you, on X, won't give out them type of gems. You know, I had my credit repaired so many times in the last 10 years that they won't even share what you shared today openly. So it's either they wouldn't share or they didn't know.
The thing is, look, unfortunately, it's just us as Americans, we like to be greedy. But I always say this, greedy people choke.
Ooh,
so there's no reason for me to be greedy, because thank God, what God has in store for me can no one take, no matter how much free knowledge I give out. And again, if you're a God-fearing man, you already know, you reap what you sow. I told you, I have business partners that would tell the person, and they're not lying to them, hey, you need a trade line. And I have one for $1,000, $1,500, $2,000, $5,000. But before I tell my client that, I say, hey, you need a trade line. Hey, do you have a family member you could trust that could save you that $1,000, that $1,500, that $5,000? And then customers understand that you're not in it just for the money. Of course, we got to make a living. And I like the finest things of life. But at the end of the day, I got to make you feel like you are my priority, not the money you about to put in my pocket. And I always think of it like this, Mark. Look what I just did today. I know for a fact you're going to go tell someone else.
Now, X, how long you been in business?
So I've been in business now for almost 8 years.
So look. I want you guys to listen to what he just said. 8 years. How many people in his industry that's been doing it 8 years consistently? That means he's doing it the right way with integrity. Because you don't last that long in that industry, in this industry, by doing people wrong. So, man, congratulations.
Thank you. And again, the track record, I always tell people, man, the track record shows you everything, man. I need to see your car facts. I don't care what you tell me. And I said it earlier.
Documents over conversation, you say, right?
Bro, like I tell people, if you got an accountant, don't be afraid to ask your accountant, let me look at your bank accounts. Let me see how you manage your money.
That's powerful, man. That's powerful. And for you ladies out there watching, you should probably pull that string before you put a ring on it. But you're saying.
If you're dating, one of the most important things, ask them about their credit score.
That's right.
Asset or their liability.
You
date in a liability.
You bet. That is a nugget. We all wish we knew before, right? But
listen, we can have this guy on. We can have him on. We need to you got to be an honorary member. I think we haven't even done this yet. You got to be an honorary member where you could just come back all the time. But we need a guarantee that you're going to come back, because credit is not small. I'm going to tell you right now, especially for us minorities, and you have your 19-year-old son building up, like maybe you should bring him with you, because he's a living testament to what we're doing, and to show that, I have a 19-year-old, and I'm not as fortunate to be able to give him the lessons that you just gave right now. And I've always thought, like, how can I do this for him that I couldn't do for myself? Because my mom for sure as hell didn't do it for me. And my father left me with debt. So at the end of the day, I'm the breakout one. And it's going to take like 6 more generations until I met you. So, I mean, you need to come back. You need to come back. I know that you're up there. I know you live by John. I'm not going to say where in Florida. Don't make me come find you. You're the only with a skunk beard. I'll find you.
Oh, the beard, yo. Look,
the community and entrepreneurs need you, brother.
In Florida, right, and you say the beard or you say X, there's a high chance they know who it is.
Yeah, that's right.
Very true facts. But I'll tell you this, Leo. I'm more than happy to mentor your son completely free when it comes to the credit building. And I would love for your son to connect with my son, because my son loves to also mentor, even though he's been a little busy with his job lately. But let them connect. And I'd be more than happy to give your son step by step how to get his credit to the 700 in the next 45 days.
That is powerful. And I don't know if Leo's looking. I was gonna say, if Leo was looking for his son, he's looking back. But listen, guys, this is powerful. I definitely agree. We definitely got to do a part 2. And I know we're gonna talk about the funding part, and we're gonna talk about the building. I know you're a heck of a builder, X. I know that for a fact, man. That's one of the things I admire about you. I'm like, dude, how this man could pack a room. Right? I've seen it over and over. This man could pack a room from 0. Even if everybody walks away, you just attract, man. You're like a magnet. That part I definitely appreciated from you since the day I met you. I usually go by vibe. Yes, sir. I usually go by vibe, not by how much money you got in your bank account. Because I met guys with a lot of dough. And I don't like them. All right? It's just a vibe. Just a vibe. Like, I could just sense your vibe. Look, like I could sense your spirit. I could sense like what's inside of you. And it's not just the pocketbook. Trust me. I've met guys that have big pocketbooks.
Wally, he does not have a pocketbook. You need to stop that.
That's a thing for women. I didn't know. All right, my bad. Hey, when the wallet is too packed, you gotta use a.
You might use a pocketbook. You gotta stop that. People are watching.
Yeah,
going right here.
I was about to say,
one water gets too full, you buy another one. That's all.
That's right.
There you go. And Leo, today's culture, men are wearing purses. I can't relate yet. I like fashion, but I haven't got to that level yet. So, John, I understand what you're saying when it came to a purse. But I understand what you're saying, Leo, when you're like, oh, it's a wallet. Look at Mark.
Nowadays, you got to clarify, sir. You got to clarify.
Very, very
true, man. These days, it's crazy.
Listen, we live in Florida, buddy. You better watch what you say.
Too many Skittles tasting the rainbow back there, But
let's get this guy back on.
We call it a satchel. A satchel.
Well, we got a comment. My score is currently a 656 and a 628. I want to get it to a 700 800. What can I do? That's from Natasha Rodriguez.
Hey, Natasha, I'll be more than happy to help you. Remember, there's 5 credit factors. I got to see which one you might be lacking on, or which one needs to be filled in a little bit more, or which one items might have to be removed from. So if you happen to have Credit Karma, because obviously a lot of times I have to have access into your account to see your profile. But if people don't know me, I say, hey, log into your Credit Karma. It's a free service. And take a screenshots of your 5 credit factors that starts with your payment history and just send me that. It doesn't show your name. It doesn't show date of birth. It doesn't show social. It just shows me your profile. And I can give you a game plan within like 10 to 15 minutes to let you know how you could do it and to let you know if you need the services or not.
You know what, X? How can people get in touch with you? That's another thing we don't really do here. But you know what? X, you're an honorary family member now since, so we're going to welcome you into the family. How do people get in touch with you? Hey, write this down, ladies and gentlemen, and watch the playback.
Yes. So the business number is 813-610-9296. 813-610-9296.
What's your social media tags?
Yes, my Instagram is at real, REAL, Xavier, XAVIER, Marrero, MARRERO. Be very careful. There you go. That is the real one. I have a blue check mark. If you type in my name, you're going to see thousands of fake pages. Select the one with the blue check mark. And I would never hit you up about Bitcoin.
Leo laughs, but you know how many profiles I've seen and we've reported that uses Xavier's image? It is crazy. Thank God for the blue check mark. That is a lifesaver, man, nowadays. Because I remember like less than a year ago, we reported like at least 6 fake accounts.
Man, look, I'm in the thousands to the point that it's so bad the FBI is involved.
Yeah. I even heard you say once there was a girl that got seduced by you with a fake profile. It's like, how blunt can you? I mean, how dumb can you be?
John, at this time, it's been going on for 3 years. I've probably been married about 20 different times. I probably got like 50 different girlfriends. Apparently, I'm a sugar daddy as well. So it gets pretty crazy.
I want to let you know I'm having your baby, so I want that child support.
Oh, man, I get crazy things, man. It's amazing. Yeah. So I just have fun with it now. Before it was kind of bothering, but I have, again, God is there, man. So do I have to be kind of concerned because people do get scammed? And then but again, I leave everything to God, bro. Like
that's it.
I don't know. God is good, man. God is good.
We got to save him for part 2. I know this is good. It's real good stuff, but we got to save him for part 2.
Let's do this, man. We'll love to have you back. I know you're a heck of a builder. Again, this man, I don't know how many agents he had before. I'm sure it was in the thousands. I know that for a fact. I've seen the rooms packed, right? And we want to talk about the business funding in a little bit more detail, how someone may qualify, what the steps to get started, and all that good stuff. I know he kind of froze there for a minute. He'll be back.
Think about next week, maybe. See, do we got the schedule open?
For sure. So we'll hit him up. We'll let everybody know when we.
He'll probably come back in.
Yeah. We'll let everybody know when he's coming back. But for sure, we're gonna bring him back. We wanna get into that nitty gritty of building. The man knows how to build. I can tell you that for a fact. All right, he knows how to build. He's just amazing at what he does. And then we want to also talk about the funding. So I was telling everybody here, X, we definitely, if you agree, we're gonna have you back, sir. And we want to discuss the part of with a little bit detailed. How do they qualify? What is the process to get funded, right? And also about the team building. I know you're a heck of a builder, man. And I don't know what's in you. Not everybody can build the way you build. I seen you. I remember, hiccups happen, and then you just rebuild the bad boy back up. All right.
Nah, for sure. So look, we could do 2 more parts.
Okay.
We could do One more part when it comes to the funding, and then we could do another part where it comes to team building and recruiting, because that I will have to teach what I consider culture. You know, for you to build any team, any organization.
And by the way, yeah.
I don't care if it's for network marketing. The biggest factor is going to be the culture. What culture is within that organization that's going to make people stick and not leave, because you don't want a revolving door. But more importantly, it's going to attract more people to be part of that movement. So, bro, that's another passion that I have. So you know that.
I already know, man. And
we need sound effects. I need sound effects. Bring this back from rewind, everybody. I need you all to hear this clearly, and all of you know his Instagram name. He is being held accountable to this. We have 2 more sessions with X on ETA, starting with next week, part 2. We got X, the Puerto Rican.
And by the way, for you listeners out there, Leonardo is not Jamaican. All right.
we're bringing back X, right? We're gonna have 2 more sessions, and I don't know, man. We gotta do something. We gotta get these viewers. This is gems right here. Forget about the playbacks. We gotta have the viewers here. You're dropping gems, man. You're like,
yeah. Let's do it, man. I mean, listen. You tell us next episode we do. Do you want to focus on the funding or you want to focus on the building? I love both of them, so you pick the one you want to do first.
In that order, funding.
I think it was. Yeah. I think it synchronizes more with what we already did today. We have a nice little flow.
Let's do that. So let's bring the next one to the funding, right? I know right now is the best time to get funded. We're coming to the end of the year. We're gonna have to pay taxes. Like right now, man. Listen, if I could deduct my underwear, I will. All right, put my logo on it, write it off. Like, hey, I ain't got no family member at the IRS. Why am I sending money there? Right? Why the heck am I sending money there? So, you know, let's break that puppy down. We'll agree on a date. We'll announce it publicly. If you want it to be next week on Wednesday, by all means. But don't worry, you don't have to give us an answer right now. We'll talk that privately. And then we'll announce it. Just everyone watching this video, this replay, this podcast, be on the lookout. We're going to do a part 2. And if you come live, you get to ask questions, just like Natasha was able to ask questions. All right. So,
beautiful. Well, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, this has been another episode of ETA, Entrepreneurs in the Arena.
And don't listen to Leo,
signing off.
X was about to say something else. X, take the last word, my brother. Go ahead.
Yes, real quick, guys. If you're watching this, do me a favor. Take a quick video of this and tag every single one of us on social media. Whoever tags us, and I see it because obviously it's going to come up that I've been mentioned, I will definitely give you a discount on the credit repair side. And if you need to bill, I will do that completely free for you. Obviously on your expense when it comes to paying the companies that provides you the service, but I'll give you that game plan completely free. Normally I charge $299 just to do that, because obviously I got to look at your profile. So tag us. We'll go ahead and give you a discount on the credit repair side of it. I will do the credit building on my end, and let's get you funded. But tag us, give us a shout out, let everybody know this is happening every single week. You need to tap in. Guys, I'm telling you, I know John. I just met Leo. I just met Mark. I'm just like John. I go off a vibe. I'm loving the vibe. I know what John stands for. At the end of the day, if he wants to keep rocking out with this, best believe I will sit here and provide every single gen I can. Put it like this, John. Well, I'll do another one for you guys where I will give them free credit hacks, period.
Boom. That's it, man. That's it. Y'all better start tagging. Y'all better start sharing. Let's do this. Credit is power. Listen. Let's make it happen, man. I am so excited. Let's make it happen. And
and the right there is hot.
And that's it.
Hot.
That's it. Wherever you're watching this, stay tuned. We're gonna announce the next session, the next part. And this is Fireman. And I know X, he always bring his best game. And I know he asked me if he could bring a presentation or keep it natural. Sir, you could bring whatever you want. I sit down on his presentation several times. And the man is a beast. And feel free to bring your whiteboard, whatever you got to do. I know you like whiteboard just like me. By the way, I took a trick from whiteboard from you. I used to use an eraser. All right. And then I saw you got like towels. I'm like, bro, that's it. I ain't doing no more erasers, man. You know, so I got me some fiberglass towel just like you.
You got it, my brother.
Let's do this, brother.
That's all. We're here to just grow from each other.
I appreciate
it. See you next one.
Yes, sir. Let's stay blessed. Let's stay connected. Next one to be announced. Mr. X, we look forward to having you again, and thank you for giving us your time, sir. All right. Be blessed, gentlemen.